Hey guys, welcome back to Maggie Insights. I know many of you enjoyed this tutorial over here, which was created using Canva's old video editor. If you haven't watched it yet, I'll leave a link in the description below. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to take those same storytelling ideas and turn them into engaging animated stories using Canva's brand new video editor. If you've been wondering how to create those animated stories with these new Canva features, this tutorial is perfect for you. Now let's bring in your script into ideas to life and let's jump in. So first you're going to open up Canva, and there are two ways that we can create our characters for our story. You can either use this Canva AI section over here, or you can use Magic Media, and I'm going to show you how to use Magic Media in today's tutorial. On the left panel, you're going to click on this create plus sign. And you're going to select the format that you would like to work with. I'm going to be selecting video landscape 1920 by 1080 and click open. At the top, you'll notice that I have a new video editor beta message. Many of you probably received this message as well because this is the Canva 2.0 editor. I know a lot of you noticed that a lot of the features within the video editor has changed, and some of you have opted out and went back to the old software by, following the directions at the top. But I'm going to show you how you can achieve the same storytelling animation with this Canva video editor 2.0. So to find Magic Media, on the left panel, you're going to scroll down until you see it at the bottom, and you're going to see Magic Media and click it. Now, this is where you'll insert your description for your character, and I'm just going to paste my description into here. If you have trouble coming up with a description for your character, you can always use sites like ChatGPT and ask it to provide you for a full description. I mainly focus on the features for my character as well as the setting. So I have a little African American girl about 5 years old standing on her tiptoe pointing up, and you see other features that I was able to specify as well. So the main thing in trying to keep a consistent character is just swapping out the scene, but keeping all the main features of our characters the same will most likely give us a consistent character within Canva. At the start of my description, you'll notice that I have a 3D animation. That's mainly because I want to make sure that it creates a cartoon. Also, you have the option to select styles at the bottom, so you can choose any one of these styles to add extra animation to your character, or just keep it as is with the 3D animation at the start of the prompt. So I'm just going to keep it as is and not select the style, and I'm going to click on Generate Images. So these are the four options that were generated from my description. Now, if I wanted to, I can tweak the prompt and specify what is it that I would like to change within it, but keep the character the same. So let me click on the image to show you the difference between the old Canva version versus this Canva 2.0 video editor. In the old Canva, if you click the image to add it to your canvas over here, you would have to expand the image to your full frame. But within this Canva 2.0, you'll notice that it basically crops the entire image. So two ways you can handle this: by double clicking and bringing your image down. If you wanted to show the full body of your character, at the top, you would click on position on the right hand side. And in the layers section, you would hover over this layer over here until you see these three dots and click on it. And you would click on detach from background. Now you can detach it, and this is where you can expand the images however you would like. Now I'm going to expand it manually. You're going to see how this has changed. And as you can see, when I expand it, it no longer fits the entire frame. One way we can fix this is by going to fix it in the Magic Expand. So at the top on the left, you're going to click on Edit. And then in this Magic Studio section, you're going to click this arrow until you see Magic Expand, which will be this one over here with the ladybug. And you're going to click it. And we will be expanded the entire image. So you'll want to click on Whole Page and click Expand at the bottom. As you can see with the options shown here, Magic Expand is not always accurate in applying the background, but you can keep generating until you're satisfied with the background you like. So you can click Generate New Results over here if you're not satisfied with the option that it show you for background replacement. So I'm going to cancel out of here. For this story, I won't be using any of the background images, so I won't have to use Magic Expand since I'll be adding in my own background, and I can do so by going to the top and clicking on Background Remover, which is this BG Remover. And once I do so, I automatically have a blank background and I can insert my own. Okay, so before I insert any backgrounds for my main character, what I'm going to do is generate at least 4 more images of her. Scrolling down and going back to our Magic Media section over here. In this prompt, I'm going to modify what I want her to be doing for each image scene. So for the second scene, I think I'm going to just type in have her sitting down. And you could do the same for each scene. You can change up whatever the character is doing, but keep all the features the same. So for my second scene image, I just insert have her sitting down pointing up. So you'll see that it's pretty much almost the same character. Of course, they might have slight changes between one of the 4. You'll just pick the one that looks the closest. This one looks the closest to my character, so I'm going to click on this one for my second scene image. And you'll notice when I click it, it added to this background layer. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is detach this second scene image from its background. So what I'm going to do is click on it and hover over these 3 dots and click on detach from background. Now it automatically added to the layer above, which where I want it. And now I'm going to just move it right next to this first scene image so that way they're on the same row. So I'm going to click on this image over here and click on BG Remover to remove the background. Now I'm going to scroll down to modify this prompt and generate my third image scene. For this one, I typed in have her running as she points and I generated so I can have this third scene image. And I'm going to do the same and select one that looks the closest. As you can see, it's not always accurate. So I'm just going to go with this one over here. And I'm going to click on these 3 dots over here and click on detach from background. And as you can see, it move it to this second layer. What I'm going to do is keep them all on the same layer and drag it right next to the second scene image. And I'm also going to do the same where I click on it and click on BG Remover because I'll be adding my own background for these images. For this fourth image scene, I just changed the area where I have her looking through a telescope and pointing up. So I'm going to generate that. And it'll start providing me 4 images. And out of these 4 images, I'm going to pick the ones that look the closest to my character. I'm going to go with this one over here because this looks the closest with the shirt. I'm going to click on it and do the same where I click on these 3 dots, detach it from the background so I can move it to the same top layer where all my clips are at, and click on the image itself. Click on BG Remover to remove the background since I'll be inserting my own background for these images. And I'm going to do the same where I scroll down and edit an area of the prompt and something else that I would like her to do and generate. Okay, so for this final scene image, I just have her covering her eyes as if the light is too bright. And I generated the image and it came up with these 4. As you can see, there are 4 different images, but I'm going to go with the one that looks the closest, which is this one here, and click it. And once I click it, I'm going to click on these 3 dots over here, detach from background, and I can move it wherever I want to at the top of this layer here. I'm going to do the same where I click on it and click on BG Remover to remove the background. Okay, so now that we have our 4 images for our scenes, now I'm going to focus on adding background. And I know you guys will notice that it was not the same process with the old Canva version, but since Canva is focusing on making the video editor more like an actual real video editor, so you'll see that these changes now are more advanced, but I'm going to show you how to work around it. So now we're going to add our background by going to the left panel and scrolling up and going to elements. In the search section, we're going to type in night sky and see what we can find out of that and hit enter or submit. In the graphics section, you're going to click see all for the first background image. I think I'm going to go with this one over here and click it to add it to the timeline. As you can see, it automatically added its own clip at the top over here. So what I'm going to do is just move it behind and put it on the layer behind the first image here. I'm going to just expand this background image. Okay, so now I'm going to look for an image background for a second scene. In this same night sky section, I'm just going to scroll down. And I'm going to go with this one over here. And as you can see, it put it in front of the layer. So I'm just going to drag it behind the second scene image and manually expand it to have it as if she's sitting on this hill looking up. So now I'm going to do the same and look for a background image for scene 3. This one, I'll probably change the search section result and type in night park or something like that and hit enter. and click See All under Graphics. I'm going to go with this one over here and click it to add it and move it behind the second scene image for its background and manually expand it. And I can bring her down just a bit, like she's running through a park, still trying to catch this moon. For our fourth scene image, I think I'm going to do like a beach background. So I'm going to type in beach night and scroll down and click See All under Graphic. I'm going to go with this option over here and move it behind the main character for the background and expand it to have her standing on the sand. Let's expand it just a bit more and move her over. Perfect. And now we're going to do the same and look for a different image. Okay, so for scene 4 background, I think I'm going to type in forest night. So in the search section, I'm just going to put forest night for this background and hit enter. And under graphics, I'm going to click See All and search for the best image that I think fits and add it. I'm going to add this one over here and move it to the background and expand it manually. I think that's good. Okay, so now that I have all the background images behind the main character, now I'm going to show you how to add items such as moving elements to enhance your stories. So in the search element section, let's type in moon because we're going to look for one that's animated. And you're going to hit submit and you're going to click on graphics and you're going to click on this arrow right over here until you see animation. And under animation, you're going to click on this arrow and this drop down menu will appear. You're going to click on animated and that way you'll only see the animated options. So I'm going to search for a moon in this section to add it. And I'm going to go with this one right over here and click it. And you'll notice with the moon, it's at the top layer and that's exactly where I want it. But I'm going to drag it all the way to the left on this first image here above it. Now for the moon, let's just say you wanted something to appear in all your scenes. You would pretty much hold on this side over here and extend it all the way through. And that way, whatever item or object you have can show in all your scenes. Or you can, I'm going to undo that, copy it and paste it and have it show on every other scene, which I'm going to show you right now. So to duplicate any object in here, you can click on these three dots on whatever element you would like to duplicate and click on duplicate over here. And I'm just going to move it up over here to be on the same layer. Okay, so I'm going to make multiple copies of the moon. It's going to be in all of my scenes, except for in each scene, I'm going to move it from different directions to duplicate it as well and bring it back down. Do the same, hover over here and do it one more time, duplicate and bring it back down on the same scene. So for every scene, I'm going to move the direction of the moon to wherever she's facing. So for this scene here, I'm going to click on the moon itself, move it over and minimize it this way. So I'm going to move the moon to the left and minimize it. Let's make it halfway out. Actually, there's a moon already in this image here. So I'm just going to move it exactly on top of it. And as you can see, there's already a moon there. And since mine is animated and looks better, I'm just going to minimize it, put it to the left. And let's make it a little bit bigger to cover up this moon over here. For this last scene here, we'll just put this one above. And I'm going to show you how to add extra moving items to the scenes as well. Okay, so let's add more moving elements to our story. So for this next element, I think I'm going to do an airplane. So in the search section, I'm going to type in airplane and click on graphics and click on this arrow over here. We're just going to make sure that we're still under the animated objects and click on animated. That way we only see the animated objects. And I'm going to go with this one over here and click it to add it. And I'm also going to minimize it and make it real small and add it all the way to the top over here. So I'm just going to add a little moving element to every other scene. I won't be adding it to all for this top layer over here. I'm just showing you so you can see how this new video editor works. As you continue to add items, of course, your layer over here will continue to stack up and increase. I try to keep everything on the same layer. So let's say you wanted to be able to view it more. All you would do is hover your mouse over this line here until you see it's purple and just drag up. That way you can see all your layers. And of course, it would decrease your image over here, but At least you'll be able to see your layers. Okay, so let's add maybe 2 more moving elements. I won't do it for every scene, maybe every other. I'm going to skip over to this one here. For this one, since it's night and it's a park, let's go with an owl. And we're going to click submit. And you're going to click on graphics and this arrow over here, animation, and select animated just to make sure we're still under the animated options, and select one. I'm going to go with this one over here and minimize it and move it over maybe on this tree over here. I'm going to pick another scene just to add a moving animation just to show you. Let's do this last scene. Let's add stars to this scene over here. So in the search element section, I'm going to type in stars and hit submit and click on graphics and click this arrow over here to animation and select animated and select an option from here. So let's do these over here and we'll minimize them and add them closer to the moon. And I'm going to drag this clip and put it above the last scenes over here and do the same for this one. Put it right above this third scene over here, keeping everything consistent and organized. If you want, you can add extra items to your scene, but I'm going to just leave it as is. Okay, so now that we add a little excitement to our story, now the fun part is to add our voiceover as well as our text. So before I do the text, I'm going to do the voiceover. If you wanted to add your voiceover within Canva AI voice generator, on the left panel, you would scroll down until you see AI voice and you would click on it. And once you click on it, you would basically paste your script into here and you would select any of the voice options here. If you are working with the free version of Canva, you would only have these 2 to work with. If you have Canva Pro, you can select between all 4, but of course they're limited in options. I'll be importing my voiceover from 11 Labs. And if you don't know about 11 Labs, that's a place where you could get realistic sounding voiceover and you can also modify the voiceovers as well. Now, if you would like to import any voiceovers that you would like to add that's not within Canva, you would go back up and you would click on upload and you would click on upload file. You would select the file that you would like to use. I'm going to click on it and click open and you'll notice that it automatically added over here. And all you will do is drag the voiceover to this add audio section over here. So I'm just going to click on it and drag it to this section and just move it all the way to the left to the beginning of the clip. Now, if I want to view everything, I'm just going to pull this up over here so that I can see all my layers. With this new Canva, you'll notice that since everything is its own clip, you cannot add transitions in between them. I've tried adding them and they won't work. So the only way I was able to add transition is by adding blank backgrounds behind here. And I'm going to show you if I just click add blank. And I'm going to do the same for this one, add blank. Add blank. Of course, this white background won't show, but that's just for me to add transitions. So hopefully they have a new way or new options where they can add transitions in between the clips without having to do this. But I find that this way works for me. What I'm going to do, I'm going to hover over here in the middle until I see this transition icon. Click on it and add a transition. I'm going to put dissolve in between all the clips. And I'm going to do the same here. Hover over here and click on dissolve and do the same for this one. Click on dissolve and the same for this one. Click on dissolve. Now that I show you how to do transitions within this new Canva, now let's work on text. We're going to click on T for text and go back to this first scene over here. And I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to hide everything for now. So now I'm going to click on add a heading and I'm going to search for a font that's more kid friendly. At the top, I'm going to click on this Canva Sans and I'm going to type in kids font. Hopefully I can find something similar. And I have a few options over here. So I can select any one of these kid-friendly fonts to use. I think I'm going to do this one little font. And I'm going to change the color to white by going to this A at the top and clicking on this text color. And on the left, I'm going to select white. So as you can see, the font already looks kid-friendly. So I'm going to paste my first text here. And I'm also going to minimize it so I can make it fit. And drag this over. maybe here. I'm also going to move this layer all the way to the left, right above that specific scene. I'm going to do the same for the next scene and add my text. As you can see, I added all my text and I make sure I selected a section within the image where it's visible and it's legible to read. And just be mindful of whatever font color you choose because you want to always make sure that you can read it despite whatever color your background. So I have my text, I have my elements, I have my main character, I have my background, and I have this plain background image just to have transitions, and I have my voiceovers. To make sure that your voiceover matches your text and vice versa, that your text matches your voiceover, you're going to play the entire thing and see if you need to extend any scenes, or you can always edit and modify your voiceover by removing some wording to make sure it match. Once you preview your scenes and make sure you're satisfied with everything in the placement, to save your file, you're going to go to the top right section and click on the share. And you're also going to click on download and make sure it's MP4 video. And you're going to click on download again. And you can access it from your downloads folder. And now let's preview this story animation that we created with this new Canva 2.0 editor.
Lily loved nothing more than the starry night, bright sky. She'd count the stars one by one, certain they were tiny friends, shining bright. She thought she could chase and reach the end someday. She'd press her eye to her little telescope to see it glow, just to see this beautiful full moon glowed back at her.
And that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed learning how to transform your storytelling ideas into animated stories using Canva's new video editor. If you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a tutorial. Also, I'd love to hear your thoughts on these new features. Let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next one, and remember, happy creating!